No signal.
Okay.
Welcome inside historic Callahan Hall. We're getting ready for the beginning of Horizon League play. Welcome to the beginning of a long season of Horizon League play along with Earl Cureton. I'm Dan Dickerson. And Earl, this is what the players have been waiting for. All the non-conference play. Detroit lost a lot of those games, 10 of 12. But they are now ready to get, this is when the excitement level and the energy level goes up.
Well, they can put all that into their rearview mirror right now, and they can concentrate on conference play. And, by them playing such a tough schedule and playing, the 60th in the nation in scheduling-wise right now. And now it's time to start the real deal and open it up here with Northern Kentucky. This will be a huge game for them to get up on the right foot, in conference play in the Horizon.
Northern Kentucky is making the transition. This is their first year of active status, transitioning from Division I to Division II. And, Earl, they've already equaled last year's win total.
Right, only 9 wins last year, and already at that point had a good recruiting class, was able to bring in some top freshmen that they brought in this year that's playing really good basketball. And it's a combination of their veteran players that go along with the freshmen that they brought in this year.
U of D 2-10 in the non-conference schedule, but Earl, Bakari Alexander knew this would be a process in his first year, and he's seeing some of those signs early on. Even though it's a 2-10 start, he's seeing some of the signs of a team that is getting better, buying into some of the things that he's preaching.
Well, as of late, they've been playing solid basketball. The last 2 games, Fort Wayne coming in here, it was a tough team that they played against. They played them down to the wire. Western Kentucky, they were able to pull a win out, their first Division I win, and they played extremely well. So he's seeing some great signs of yet to come for the Titans, and he knows it's a work in progress. The defensive concept is starting to come along. They're starting to get better, and it's a matter of them putting 40 minutes of basketball together.
The win against Western Kentucky was big, and you were impressed by the way they played against Fort Wayne.
No question about it. I mean, Fort Wayne was a team that had knocked off Indiana, number 3 Indiana team, a solid team that came in, and they played them all the way down to the wire. At the end of the ball game, the last few seconds, just a few minor mistakes cost them the victory, but you can see the improvement as the seasons go on with these Titans.
The guy that's got everybody excited right now is a finalist for Mr. Basketball here in Michigan last year, Corey Allen.
Oh, man, was he on fire last game. You're talking about shooting the basketball. 33 points. I mean, he couldn't miss last game, and they're going to need another performance out of him like that tonight. Western Kentucky with their top players, with Drew McDonald, a strong post-up player down there on the box for them. He's a handful, averaging 15 points a game for them. And then they have LeVon Holland, a point guard that runs the show for them. That's a junior that can really shoot the basketball. So those 2 players are guys they're going to really have to contain and keep under control tonight if they want to win this game.
Northern Kentucky is a very young team, one of the youngest in Division I. They've got a lot of freshmen they play. They've got a lot of sophomores. As head coach John Brennan said, you like to lean on your veterans. We don't really have those guys to lean on. We have returnees that we can lean on, but not veterans. And Detroit's much the same. Earl, Bakari Alexander has found out. He's got a lot of new faces in this program. He, too, has been leaning on the upperclassmen, but now we're starting to see the freshmen and some of those guys who are playing for the first time at Division I make an impact.
Well, those guys have got some experience in the last couple games. Cole Long was able to came in Eisler. Those guys coming in off the bench and play some quality minutes and some minutes down the stretch. It's going to help them in the Horizon League play. Jaleel Hogan's always a mainstay. He's been consistent throughout the whole year. And Josh McPolly is a guy that's been carrying them the offensive load. And like we mentioned, Corey Allen scoring. With the combination of those guys, a matter of them putting 40 minutes of basketball together and playing a solid game, and they can pull wins out this year.
What as you go into league play, from a player's standpoint, just describe some of the things these players are feeling, because they've been gearing toward this day, the beginning of league play, for a long time.
Well, you go against tough teams, and you pick a schedule that's going to get you prepared for league play, because the winner of the Horizon is going to get a bid for an NCAA tournament. So it doesn't matter, if you can come out victorious doing a Horizon schedule, and that's what your main focus is on. So coaches, they kind of gear things up, and it's almost like the start of another season when you get into a Horizon League play. It's a different focus, and every win is important, especially the ones at home. And seeing a team like Northern Kentucky coming in here, they want to get off on the right foot.
Northern Kentucky's been playing a lot on the road. Of course, when you're a mid-major, you do tend to play a lot of games on the road in the non-conference portion of the schedule. Detroit has the advantage of starting with 2 games here at home to begin Horizon League play. That's no small thing. Bakari Alexander telling his team at the morning shoot-around, he said, hey, this is the Horizon League championship tonight. And I'm sure some players looked at him like, what are you talking about? But he said that is truly the mentality that he wants his team taking into every single game, because their goal is, whatever the record is, their goal is to win that Horizon League championship tournament, which is held right here in Detroit, and get that automatic bid.
No question about it, and that's the right attitude for them to approach it. Especially, you get a team like Northern Kentucky coming in here in Detroit, really been playing great basketball here at home. You don't see them lose too many games. One thing they have been doing over the last year and this year is taking care of the home court, and that's what they have to do here tonight, especially against a team like Northern Kentucky coming in.
One of the things that Bakari Alexander it knows will take time, because this is, well, let's face it, this is a Detroit Mercy Titans team in recent years, Earl, that concentrated on scoring, outscoring their opponents. He knows the defensive side of things will take time. And Detroit, through the non-conference portion of the schedule, giving up almost 86 points a game. It's been a little bit better in some games recently, but I think he's really excited about the return of Matthew Grant. Matthew Grant sat out the first 12 games for academic reasons, came back last game. He's getting the start tonight, and I think Bakari Alexander really wants to see whether this senior and his defensive skills and defensive intensity can have an impact on the rest of his team.
Well, we know from last year that Matthew Grant is a guy, and he's played a lot of roles on this team, from starter to coming off the bench to playing a lot of minutes to playing no minutes. But one thing he brings to the table, he gives you 110% when he's out on the basketball court. And he's a great defender. He'll get up in people's face, and he's going to be there. And that's the style of basketball that Bakari Alexander likes, and that's a plus for him to have him back in his lineup now.
Earl mentioned some of the guys to keep an eye on for the Norse of Northern Kentucky. Again, their 5th year transitioning from Division II to Division I. The first 4 years are what's called reclassification status, which means you cannot go to the postseason. This is the first year they are active status in Division I, and they can now go to the postseason were they to win the Horizon League championship. But Carson Williams is also a guy to keep an eye on. He's number 23. He was Mr. Kentucky last year, Mr. Basketball in Kentucky, and this is a freshman, 6'5", 230. He's going to jump it off here against Jaleel Hogan, who can do a little bit of everything, and he has impressed Northern Kentucky.
Well, it should be an interesting matchup. For a change, Jaleel Hogan's got a guy that's the same size as him. Usually Jaleel's giving up 3 or 4 inches on size, but Williams is a handful, and he doesn't play like a freshman.
So you're starting 5 for the Titans. That's Matthew Grant, who we just talked about with the ball, his first start of the year. McFarley gets it down low to Hogan. Skip pass cross court near side Grant. Grant, Allen, Jenkins, Jaleel Hogan. The starting 5 for the Titans. Long range gun, got it for Jenkins.
Well, that's a great sign. Jenkins has been struggling early this season with his jump shot, but for him to knock that down, they're showing a lot of patience with that first possession and kicked it over to Jenkins on moving the ball around. He was able to knock down that first jump shot.
McDonald, the leading scorer for the Norse. Quick ball movement around the perimeter. Both teams man-to-man defense. Long range gun, a little bit short for Cole Murray. He will launch. That is his 99th three-point attempt of the year, and he's shooting over 40% beyond the arc.
He's not shy at all. You'll see him take that throughout the night.
Hogan gets the bounce. Jaleel Hogan, when he is on the floor, Earl, is a force at both ends of the floor. The key is keeping him on the floor. He's been in a lot of foul trouble all season.
Well, he's added that 15-foot jump shot to his game that makes him more effective offensively.
Boy, Williams stripped and, stripped by Hogan, and he was standing on the baseline. Good defense by the Titans.
Great defensive play that time, and they were almost off to the races that time, and Hogan got 1 foot stuck back on the baseline. You see the drive there. Hogan was able to get both hands on the basketball and snatch it away, but his back foot, went back.
Starting 5 for the Norse. Levon Holland, Drew McDonald, the 2 leading scorers. Carson Williams, last 3 games, has been averaging almost 17 points a game. Jordan Garnett and Cole Murray, those are your 5 starters for the Norse. And again, this is a team that loves to shoot the 3. They'll throw up almost 25 three-pointers a game.
They got a good mix of players too, you know, with McDonald and Williams. Both of those guys can post up on the low block. You know, McDonald's capable of stepping out to the three-point line, knocking down threes himself. So they got a combination of both an inside and outside presence on the offensive end of the game.
So the officials are trying to figure out what the shot clock was on the last out of bounds play. Right now, the shot clock is at 14. Titans out to the early 5-0 team. Impressive win for the women's team. Just before this game tonight, a doubleheader here at Callahan Hall. They big win over Valparaiso.
And they also are starting conference play. And, you know, anytime you can get a big win like that against, Valparaiso. And, this year they got a healthy team with the women's. Only had 7 or 8 players strong last year. And Coach Scott's got to be happy with having a full deck this year.
So the shot clock did say 14. They're going to take 5 seconds off of the shot clock and run it down to 9. So 9 seconds on the inbounds for Northern Kentucky. Howland behind the arc. Got it.
Well, Holland's capable of knocking that shot down. You know, he doesn't take a lot of them, but he will take them if you leave him wide open. He's capable of putting that in the basket.
Both teams like to shoot three. For the Titans, it's really McFarley and Corey Allen, the three-point threats. This is Grant in the corner. Jenkins, who hit a three already. Grant, a defensive specialist. He can shoot as well, but he's not going to probably shoot beyond the arc like the other threats do, McFarley and Allen. Ball is off of the Titans and out of bounds. And the Norse will come back the other way. The beginning of league play in the Horizon League. Titans open with 2 games at home, with 10 teams now in the league. Northern Kentucky made it 10 last year with their addition to the league. They can come up here and stay. Don't have to worry about weather. They'll play Oakland on Saturday. Wright State playing Oakland tonight, and the Titans will face Wright State on Saturday afternoon. In the lane, good drive and soft touch for Levon Holland.
Holland's showing his strength that time. You see him throw both arms up to show those guns as he powered his way to the basket to lay that one in.
McFarley with the ball. Nice floater inside, and Jaleel Hogan gets it to go. He'll go to the free throw line.
Jaleel Hogan doing a good job of sealing this guy off that time. The soft lob over the top, and despite being banged and hit, he's showing his power and his strength, and he still was able to power that up and with a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play.
You look at Jaleel Hogan's production on a per-game basis or at a per 40-minute basis. I mean, this is a really productive player, Earl, who just right now, if he stays on the floor, it changes the way this offense and defense looks for the Titans.
Well, they didn't have him down the stretch last game against Fort Wayne, which I thought they really could use him as an offensive threat because he's a guy that you want to look to go to, in the crucial times of the game.
Good put back that time. The drive and miss, and then Levon Holland put in his own miss to make it a 1-point game. Titans 2-10 in non-conference play. The Norse 9-4. They were 9-21 last year, and Jaleel Hogan turns it over. That's been a problem for the Titans, especially in recent games. Their last 5, they've averaged almost 16 turnovers a game, and Bakari Alexander really stressing coming into this game the fundamentals. And that's both the number of fouls committed at both ends of the floor and things like we just saw with Jaleel Hogan.
But you don't want those unforced turnovers, and he got happy feet that time before putting the ball down and shuffled his feet.
Man, a little shuffle of the feet for Drew McDonald.
Turnover for turnover.
When the Titans are hitting their threes, that's when their offense has been at its best, and they have absolutely bombed the ball with great accuracy the last 2 games especially. Corey Allen, who has the ball right now before he hands it off to Grant, hit 9 threes his last time out. McFarley will back it up. Around the screen from Jenkins, gives it off to Jenkins. He'll drive. The senior stops and hits.
Oh, wow, I really like the way Detroit's being patient offensively right now, and they're getting quality shots. That time, Jenkins was able to get in and take the nice little 8-footer right around the basket, and they're patient and moving the ball around.
Good to see him get going early, Earl. If Jenkins starts scoring early, then you got to believe there are going to be some other opportunities.
Well, we saw him have 20-point games last year, and we know he's capable of putting the ball in the basket. Off to a slow start, but maybe, Horizon League play was going to wake him up.
Drive, and again, Holland scores. That's good quickness. Levon Holland, averaging 15 points. Leading assist man for the Norse. And back to a 1-point game. McFarley, man right in his face, and that one misses badly. Jeff Garrett brings it down, stolen by McFarley, and he'll just lay it in with a slam at the other end.
You get a little nervous when you see McFarley go up for those slam dunks. He's missed a couple of those throughout the season, but by himself that time, he went up and was able to power that one in.
He didn't make any mistake that time, did he?
No.
Williams, the freshman, lots of freshmen, get a lot of playing time for the Norse. Again, one of the youngest teams in Division I. 4 freshmen get substantial playing time, and another started 8 games and has been out with an injury since. That's Jalen Tate, who's been out with the injury. So really, there were 5 freshmen getting substantial playing time. Its number is still 4 plus a sophomore, a redshirt sophomore, and Jeff Garrett, who's on the floor right now.
We saw McDonald step back and take that 3-point shot. He's capable of doing that.
And there is Grant with the steal, or Garrett to Williams. A great play by Jenkins at the other end. What hustle from Jenkins. He'll drive and get fouled. Terrific play by the senior.
Jenkins doing a good job of saving the day as he reached in. That was, on his way for a slam dunk, and he reached in and knocked that ball away. That was a great defensive play by Jenkins.
It looked like a sure 2 at the other end, and then he draws the foul, and we've got timeout on the floor. 6 minutes into the first half, we're tied at 12. Back inside Callahan Hall, Dan Dickerson and Earl Curitan. Opening night of Horizon League play, the Norse of Northern Kentucky have made the journey to Detroit for tonight's game. Again, they'll stay and play Oakland on Saturday. Intriguing Northern Kentucky team. The recruiting class of their head coach, John Brennan, rated as one of the best for the mid-majors, and I think every head coach will say they'd rather have some of that veteran experience. So he said there have been some ups and downs, but I think he's been pleasantly surprised with how well his freshmen have played and how much they've contributed so far.
Well, it's a good blend, a good mix of players, and and it's always good. You just mentioned they can stay in town for a little while. They can see Oakland and Detroit. Most Horizon League teams come in, they usually knock off both teams while they're here and have a chance to compete against both teams.
Hogan gets it out to McFarley before he fell down. Allen's going to drive baseline, dish it to Hogan. Ball loose, and the Norse have it. Williams back the other way. Outside look for Holland, in and out, but Williams with a putback, and he'll get it down.
Well, there's an area right there where Detroit's got to be really careful with this team because they're a good offensive rebounding team. They'll look to hit the boards, and you got to box out and not allow them to have second shots, especially with the 2 bigs with McDonald down there in the low block.
Titans have been really good, really most of the year, but especially lately at limiting fast break opportunities for their opponents. For a little contact underneath. McFarley drove, couldn't get it to go down. And Holland drives at the other end. Behind the back dribble, kicks it out. Brendan Gillis with the ball, hands it back to Holland. Corey Allen on him. Jenkins on Williams, and Grant on Cole Murray. Inside to Williams, good look and an easy bucket.
Carson Williams has the ability to put that ball on the floor, and he's tough around the basket.
Again, he's heated up. The leading scorers are Holland and McDonald, but Carson Williams, Mr. Basketball in Kentucky last year, probably will be there at the end of the year. One of the top 3 scorers, perhaps the leading scorer for the Norse. Grant drives the lane. He wants to kick out, and ball tipped, and it's going to go. Titans will still have it. Brendan Gillis, the sophomore from Indianapolis, tipped it out of bounds. McFarley out. Gerard Williams comes in. Williams and Grant. Again, Grant starting for the first time this year. Those are the two senior leaders that Bakari Alexander really wants to see their defense and how it can lift this team.
These guys got a lot of experience, both coming in here as starters at the guard position in their freshman years, and they've been through some things. They know what it's all about, and we look for those guys to show some leadership.
Backdoor cut, great body control, and a lay-in from another freshman, Mason Faulkner.
Tell you what, Grant got set up that time. He lost track of him. He backdoored him pretty good.
Heck of a backdoor cut. Faulkner was also one of the finalists for Mr. Basketball in Kentucky last year. Give you a feel for the strength of this recruiting class for head coach John Brennan. Hogan will drive on Gillis, right by him, and lays it in.
Man, great move that time by Hogan, recognizing that, that first step going straight to the basket and powering that one in.
Or the Norse pushing things at the other end, and no foul. Blocked by Hogan. Help from Allen. Long-range gun, a little bit strong, and a lot of contact. No whistle. Allen at the other end. Good look. And Williams couldn't handle it, out of bounds. End-to-end action here at Callahan Hall. Northern Kentucky with the 4-point lead. 8 minutes into the first half. With the 4-point lead on the opening night of Horizon League play. Titans jumped out to the early 5-0 lead, and then some end-to-end action. McFauley with the steal and dunk. One of the things we talked about coming into the game are the importance of McFauley and Allen being able to get their open looks beyond the arc. And so far, the North's not really letting them get those looks.
Well, they're doing a good job on defending the perimeter, and that's what happened when you put 33 points in the basket. Teams are going to pay a little bit closer attention to you. Corey Allen hasn't been able to get a clean look so far in this game, and Josh, they did a good job of closing out on him, but I'm sure that's going to change as this game go on.
Faulkner hands it off. Murray around the perimeter to Garnett. Garnett drives the lane, and the offensive foul.
Well, you can see where the defensive work in practice is kind of paying off a little bit for the Titans that time. Chris Jenkins doing a good job of moving his feet, getting in front of him, and is able to draw the offensive fouls. And those are some of the defensive plays that, Coach Alexander wants his team to do.
Gillis out. Drew McDonald just a brief blow. Back into the game, leading scorer for the Norse. Grant in his first start running the point. Remember, McFauley's been really running the point the last couple of games. He's had 17 assists the last 2 games. But Grant running the point tonight. Jenkins, right side Williams. Williams working on Murray. Drives baseline, and Murray stuffs it out of bounds and off of Williams, out of bounds. Northern Kentucky ball.
Well, Williams trying to use his body to get inside, giving up some size that time, and the defender did a good job of just staying down and holding his hands up on that play.
Blake Spellman, another freshman, guarded by Grant as he crosses midcourt. Faulkner to Murray. Inside now, down low, off the glass, soft touch for McDonald, and it's a 6-point lead for the Norse.
There's McDonald showing that versatility. He's able to post up, and earlier we saw him knock down a 3-point shot.
Bakari Alexander really impressed with the teamwork involved. Nice drive by Jenkins to lay it in. The teamwork involved to get Corey Allen those open shots in recent games, Earl. But right now, it's been a quiet start for Corey Allen, the freshman.
Being patient with it, and he's not forcing anything.
Yeah, not forcing anything. Oh, looked like all ball, and certainly that's what Grant thought. That's the first foul of the game by the Titans.
Well, they really got to be careful right there. You see Corey Allen getting beat backdoor again. That caused that foul. I mean, the defensive pressure came over, but Corey Allen, when you're overplaying the basketball, you got to be careful that you not let that guy go back, though. Keep a hand on him and not let him beat you.
They've got that play working right now. It's been a little too easy.
Well, the help side did come, but you still put your team in jeopardy when you get beat on those backdoor cuts like that.
Both of these teams have struggled at times from the free throw line. Northern Kentucky as a team at 66%, and the Titans a little below that. As a coach, you'd like to be at 70% or above. Certainly, Titans have been better of late.
Well, here's the kid, Faulkner, at the line that's really put some points up in high school. This kid averaged over 30-some points a game in high school, and he can score the basketball. He's going to be a solid freshman for for the North.
Trey Black with the ball, driving inside the arc. Allen, first three-point attempt, but a man right in his face. That was Garnett. Offensive rebound for the Titans. And a push down low. Williams working on McDonald and drew the foul.
Well, Williams has got such a strong body. His versatility, he's able to play a little bit of small forward, a little bit of two guard, and at times you can even see him at the point guard position.
Black will inbound the ball. He started 6 of the last 7. Knee injury kept him out of the starting lineup tonight. And while he has struggled with his shot, Earl, defensively, they certainly have liked what he has given this Titans team.
Well, he's a solid playmaker. Maybe the best playmakers in terms of passing the ball and getting people involved that they have this year.
That's Eichler setting the screen, and the Titans will back it out. Jenkins off to a good start. 7 points already for the senior. He'll drive, get stuffed, ball out of bounds, and off of McDonald as he backed out of bounds. The ball hit him.
Right here you can see Chris Jenkins taking the ball to the basket strong, and was able to get inside, and it was off of the North that time. The Titans get the ball back.
Eichler, the 7-footer, sets the screen. Ball loose. Williams long-range gun because of the shot clock, and shot clock violation as that ball came up short. So setting the Titans 5 on the floor right now. Allen, Black, Williams, Eichler, and Jenkins.
You see Coach Alexander is not hesitating to play his bench. A lot of faces out there, and giving these guys an opportunity to go out and display their talent early in the game.
Titans force the turnover. They're running. Driving to the lane, Corey Allen a little bit out of control, lost it, and Williams with a rebound. Murray, Howland, Williams, Garnett, and Faulkner for the North. You just mentioned Faulkner, prolific scorer in high school. The freshman has not done a whole lot of scoring at the, so far, Division I level, but showed a pretty nice stroke right there.
He's capable, and I think as the season goes on, you'll see him gain more confidence, and he put a lot of points up through his high school career.
Jenkins pull-up jumper, got it. Nice touch. Chris Jenkins off to a terrific start.
Well, you want to see him get consistent. He's a senior this year. You want to see him do what he's doing. He's starting to feel comfortable with his offense here early in the game.
Driving in, Eichler just stuck a big arm out. He didn't even have to jump. He just stuck the arm out and knocked it away.
He's 7 feet tall underneath there, and he's a guy that can be a defensive presence down there. But just a freshman, still a work in progress.
8 minutes to go in the first half, just under. The Norths with a 7-point lead here in the Horizon League opener. We're back at Callahan Hall. The Norths of Northern Kentucky with a 7-point lead. Earlier, look at the last couple of games. A win and a loss for the Titans. 85 and 86 points in the 2 games. They hit 27 three-pointers in 50 attempts in those 2 games.
That's a huge part of their game.
The 2 games
right
before
there.
that, 3 for 30, and they scored 61 and 65 points. So clearly the 3 is a big part of their offense right now.
No question
Just
about it.
1 3-pointer so far tonight.
Josh McFarley and Corey Allen are, the guys that can really knock those shots down. And you got to give Northern Kentucky credit early in this game. They've done a good job on protecting the perimeter and not allowing them to have those wide open looks. And I'm sure that's something that's going to be talked about the second half of this game.
Allen is not on the floor right now. Look for Jaleel Hogan, you would think, at the other end of the floor for the Titans to become a bigger force. North's impressive. They got a lot of threats, including this guy, Carson Williams with the ball. McDonald, their leading scorer, hands it off to Jordan Garnett. McDonald, quick turnaround, short, and Williams has it, running for the Titans. Hands it off to Jenkins, lost the handle, lays it in, and one.
Well, Jenkins off to a great start right there. Just, putting this 11th point into the basket right there, and only missed 1 shot so far. This got to do a lot for his confidence. You can see the great pass for Williams right there. Fumbled the ball a little bit. Was able to get it under control and lay it in and draw the foul.
Boy, Jenkins has been big, considering the Titans have not been able to get the game going outside the arc. Shooting of McFauley and Allen has certainly led this team the last 2 games.
Well, Jenkins has had some frustrations early, and he's a guy that really works hard, and this is his senior year, and he wants to be impactful to this basketball team. And I tell you what, you can't pick a better night than the beginning of the Horizon League to come alive, and he's really displaying what he can do offensively here early in this game.
12 points on 5 of 6 shooting for the senior, and a 4-point lead for Northern Kentucky. Along the baseline, McDonald will kick it out to Faulkner, man in his face, in and out, and a rebound by Jenkins, doing it all right now. Leading the break at the other end. Drives into the lane. Corner. McFauley gets it down.
That's the thing about McFauley. He'll put you to sleep. He'll be non-existent, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he can knock down 4 or 5 3-point shots like it's nothing.
Good look inside and good defense by Hogan to force the miss. Howland with the shot, and he was fouled by Dre Black.
Well, Howland did a good job of hitting the floor that time. Little bit of acting right there. He was able to make sure that he got that foul on that shot.
The breeze of Dre Black going by him apparently knocked him to the ground.
That's what you got to do. When you see the defense coming at you, you got to make sure that you get some type of contact and hope that the official blow the whistle. And he was successful with it that time.
Northern Kentucky gets to the line a lot. Howland is a 70% free throw shooter. He's already had 65 free throw attempts this season. Junior out of Louisville, Kentucky, and if not their Iron Man, this is a guy who plays a lot, over 32 minutes a game.
Well, he's a pretty smart player. He's a junior. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes out on the court. He distributes the ball well. He takes the shots when he needs to take them, and he gets other people involved. So he's solid for them all the way around the block.
One of the other things we're seeing early on, this is a Northern Kentucky team that has one of the best rebounding differentials in the entire country. They out-rebound their opponents by almost 9 rebounds a game, a number that will warm any coach's heart. They're strong on the offensive glass, strong on the defensive glass, and they've out-rebounded the Titans here tonight by a wide margin, and we're still early in this game. They've out-rebounded the Titans 13-6.
And 7 of those are offensive rebounds.
Jenkins guarded by Murray. Williams looking inside for Hogan, bumped, and he got it to go. The strength of Jaleel Hogan.
Not only the strength of Jaleel Hogan, but his body control now. You don't see him pick up too many of the offense. The good seal, holding the guy off, getting it, gathering itself. That could have very easily been a charge, but he was able to come to a stop, gather himself, and power that ball up. And he does a good job of doing that and drawing the foul. Now he's got to become a better free throw shooter because he's going to get fouled a lot. And you want to see him knock those free throws down.
John Brennan, the head coach for the Norse, calls timeout. Talk about that body control and how big it is, because I think Bakari Alexander is the most positive coach you could imagine being around. But I'm sure that he had a little chat with Jaleel Hogan after the last game where he fouled out. Now, he's fouled out before, but 4 of the 5 fouls were offensive fouls. And I know that he was frustrated with that and wanted this team to get back to good fundamentals, and to see him avoid the offensive foul, like you said, on that particular play. I mean, that's...
Well, you don't want him to get the cheap fouls. I mean, and especially early in the ball game, and you have to watch, what's happening with him early in the ball game. And he's a guy that you're going to go to down in that low block, and because of his size and his strength, and guys are not going to try to guard him. They'll step in and try to take the position on him, and he's got to be aware of where he's at and what moves he's going to make. That time showing a lot of patience, and here at the free throw line, this is an area where he can really, take advantage of people if he can start knocking these down.
Nothing wrong with that one as he knocks it down for the second time tonight. Completes the three-point play. But it has been a struggle at times. Certainly we have seen that with Jaleel Hogan. Free throw shooting percentage under 50% coming into play. Tie game at 27, just under 6 to go here in the first half in the Horizon League opener for both teams. Garnett guarded by Jenkins. Williams guarding Murray. Long range gun, no. And the Titans back the other way, trying to take the leads and see early moments of the game. Allen, little bit strong.
He felt good about that. He started
did.
taking off the other way, but it didn't go down for him.
It is a very confident Corey Allen who took the floor tonight. Long-range gun by the other #1 on the floor. Jordan Garnett, the junior from Indianapolis, drains it. Just his 3rd three-pointer of the year. McFarley, Hogan hands it off to Allen. 9 3-pointers his last time. He'll hand it out to McFarley. Lefty shot, got it.
A good decision that time by Corey Allen.
Terrific. Spellman picks up his dribble, hands it off to Garnett, and gets it back near midcourt. Allen on him. Murray sets the screen for Faulkner, and whistle, and I think we've got a foul on Jenkins. Nope. That went on Josh McFarley. I think one of the real positives here in the first half, Titans have had many players foul out. As Bakari Alexander likes to point out, we're 2-0 when somebody doesn't foul out. So they have had a player foul out in all but 2 games this year.
Well, when you're playing straight man-to-man defense and you want your players to be aggressive, you can expect for some fouls to happen.
And we're 4.5 minutes from the end of the first half, and nobody is in foul trouble, and the Titans have only committed a few fouls the entire half. Long-range gun for Spellman, no. Strong rebound for Jaleel Hogan.
Titans doing a good job of making Northern Kentucky one and done on the defensive end of the court.
Jenkins to Hogan, back to Jenkins near midcourt, guarded by Garrett. Grant back into the game for the Titans. Jenkins will hand it off to Corey Allen. He'll drive into the lane, had the ball knocked away from behind, but that'll be a foul on Mason Faulkner. And timeout on the floor. Just under 4 to go in the first half. Terrific start to Horizon League play. We're tied at 30. Four minutes to go in the first half. Detroit Mercy Titans against the Northern Kentucky Norse. The Norse came in with a 9-4 record in non-conference play. Titans, as Earl mentioned, 2-10, but with one of the tougher schedules for a mid-major, Earl, they really were tested in the non-conference portion of the schedule.
Well, a lot of changes, and they lost a lot from last year when you lose a Parrish Bash, and you lose a Carlton Brundage, and you lose one of your top shooters in Wilson, and you come back and you got a schedule like that, and you got a new coach. It's a lot of adjustments that have to be made, and playing a schedule like that is going to be tough, but you build character when you do that, and the record's not going to indicate, where they are right now. Everything starts today, with the Horizon League, on board here.
Corey Allen, an 80% free throw shooter, made and missed. 1-point lead for the Titans, their first lead since early in the game. Spellman hands it off to Gillis. Gillis looking for some help, gives it back to Spellman. Facing a double team, he'll get it out to Murray. Open look for Gillis. They don't want him shooting there, and he thought better of it. Now he's going to drive on Jenkins. Good help defense from Jaleel Hogan.
Solid defensive effort that time by the Titans. Woo.
Corey Allen with an ankle breaker, steps back and short. And too bad after that move.
Yeah, like they say, $1 million move and a $2 finish.
You have to make that shot after making that move, don't
knock
you?
It down. That was a,
And McFarley with the steal. Spellman at the other end behind the back. He's going to look for Grant, who's following, and Grant with tough defense can't get it over. 2 different Norsemen.
Well, you want to see them capitalize on some of these good defensive stops that they're getting here.
And from the corner, don't give Cole Murray an open look.
And he's been quiet here in the first half.
Yes, he has.
We know he's a guy that can knock those shots down. Don't stop paying attention to him.
Titans have played some pretty solid defense in the first half. Again, this is a team that's giving up 86 points a game in non-conference play. What do we have? Faulkner called for the foul. That will send McFarley to the line.
I'll tell you, McFarley does a great job of getting into the passing lanes. You know, you'll see him get out and steal balls in the passing lane. He's a great, you know, like off the ball defender that can get out and get steals. And you see the Titans get a couple solid stops down here, and you want to see them come down and capitalize and get paid off of that solid defense.
73% free throw shooter, nothing but net on the first one. McFarley's been challenged this year, hasn't he? He was a starter. He came off the bench for a couple of games. Then he was asked to play the point for a couple of games and really did a nice job. 9 assists and 8 assists his last 2 games. Tonight, a little different role for him again, back to kind of being that guy that they need to hit from the outside.
I think Coach Alexander likes to see him because when he gets hot, you know, he can really put that ball in the basket. And, you know, to put him at point guard kind of takes away from his scoring a little bit. And they want to find somebody that can really get him the ball so he can be able to do what he do.
Tied at 33. Gillis will drive on Hogan. Quick feet for Hogan, cuts him off. Oh, whistling a foul. Jaleel Hogan, quick hands. He thought they were quick, but head referee Don Carstensen says nope, that's a foul. But that is just the first foul of the half, impressively for Jaleel Hogan.
And that's really good. And, you know, you look at it right now. I wouldn't, you know, don't want to risk him getting into any kind of foul trouble. 2 minutes left. I'd probably let him go a little bit longer and get him out of there.
Boy, tough defense, but a little too tough for Corey Allen. He's called for the foul. That'll be a shooting foul.
You know, officials will make that call. If you can keep your hands straight up in the air, they won't call it. But the minute you lower those arms down, that's when the referee will blow the whistle. And, you know, he lowered the arms and got them up quick, but the officials saw the initial throw down of the arms of the arms. Yes.
Garrett, who struggles the most of all these Norse players, 9 for 22 from the line, puts the first one down to give the Northern Kentucky Norse a 1-point lead. Missed the second, out of bounds and off the foot of Garnett.
You put the jinx on him there. You know, you straighten him out quick.
You can't hit that first one when you're a 41% free throw shooter and expect to make the next. Rare full court pressure applied by Northern Kentucky. 2 minutes to go in the first half. And now they'll back off as McFarley brings it across midcourt, greeted by Jordan Garnett. McFarley's had a good first half. Chris Jenkins has had a terrific first half. Jenkins has it right now. Murray's on him. Jenkins is going to hand it off to McFarley instead. He's going to look inside for Hogan. Double team, but the soft touch gives the Titans a lead.
Good ball movement that time. Good patience
really
by
nice.
the Titans. And they got it to the guy that they know can put it in. Jaleel Hogan underneath the basket.
Jenkins knocks it away. Other end avoids the defense and lays it in. Terrific play in all ways for Chris Jenkins.
Jenkins getting it done in every area. Defensively, rebounding the basketball, assisting the basketball. Great first half by Chris Jenkins.
Garnett played really pretty good defense following him down the floor, but Jenkins just went around him to lay it in.
He was relentless. He stayed with it.
The Titans have played some of their best defense of the year here in the first half. Jaleel Hogan with a knockaway, and the foul by Jeff Garrett on Chris Jenkins.
Well, what about Jaleel Hogan? He's done some great defensive plays down there with his shot
really
block.
has.
You know, came over the top, and it's got to be about his third block, I think it is, of the night.
3 blocks and only 1 foul. And we talk about it because he's fouled out of so many games this year and gets into foul trouble. And Bakari Alexander has made a point of saying it affects us at both ends of the floor. It affects our inside-out offense, trying to get the ball in and back out because he's not on the floor. And it affects, obviously, the defense. We're seeing the impact he can make.
Well, where you really, need him at is at the end of ball games. You don't want to have him in foul trouble going into the late part of ball games when it's a close game, because he's a guy that can really be impactful for you going down the stretch.
Jenkins hits the first. Chris Jenkins came into the game averaging just under 12 points a game, 7 rebounds a game in his 32 minutes. And now he's got 15 as he misses the second. 15-point first half for the senior. Chris Jenkins out of UD Jesuit. 4-point lead for the Titans. Almost too far for Spellman. McFarley on him. Quick shot from Murray and couldn't get the bounce. And another block for Jaleel Hogan, but out of bounds off of McFarley. And no, apparently off Northern Kentucky.
Man, Jaleel Hogan's a rim protector here tonight, boy. He's throwing everything out of there.
Jaleel Hogan has been terrific underneath as we take a look.
Goes up strong, and he gets a hand on the basketball without fouling, keeping his body away from him, going up, blocking it clean.
Boy. What a first half for Jenkins. Jaleel Hogan. Terrific first half. Bakari Alexander still trying to get that 8-9 man mix, isn't he? Well, Earl, in terms of which guys he wants on the floor, but he's got some options. As we take a look at Chris Jenkins,
doing a good job that time of staying with that play and not giving up on it, and was able to get it and lay it in. And I tell you, he's both offensively and defensively. And you mentioned, yeah, he's been soul searching, especially when you're 2 and 10, where he's sitting at right now. You try a lot of different combinations, and you got new players, you're a new coach, you're trying to figure out who can do what and who play well together. So he's been trying a lot of different things, and right now you're at a point where you're just about close to getting that figured out.
So 28 seconds, shot clock off. Titans will go for the last shot here in the first half, leading by 4, trying to build that lead going into halftime. Matt Grant brings it across midcourt. Allen with the open look, can't get it. Put back and couldn't get it. McFarley, but a foul on Garnett.
Yeah, Josh doing
what
a
an
good
effort
job
by McFarley.
Doing a good job of sneaking in on the weak side that time and getting his hand on the offensive board. You can see Corey Allen right here pulling up with the jump shot. Hasn't been able to find the range that Josh McFarley coming over the back. Not really fouling, though. Was able to get around, snake around, and drew the foul.
This is the first. He's a good free throw shooter. Howland checks into the game. And Faulkner, 2 of their long-range threats.
You want to be careful here that you have a solid defensive effort here. Not let them score with 5.7 seconds left before the half and take this in with a nice 4-point lead.
Good move here, getting Jaleel Hogan out with just the 1 foul. Cole Long in. Don't want to risk Hogan picking up that second foul in these final 6 seconds.
No, he did a great job defensively and giving them offensive punch down underneath the basket.
5-point lead, 6 seconds to go. Howland, guarded by McFarley, will take the long-range gun. Too strong, and a very strong first half for the Titans as they really tighten things up defensively the last, I would say, 10 minutes of that first half, Earl.
Definitely did a good job on the defensive end of the floor, and also, the rebounding don't really reflect it, but they were holding these guys to just 1 shot and getting the ball off and able to push it down in solid offense. And right now they're sitting exactly where they want to be, and we know how important it is for them to play 40 minutes of basketball, and I'm sure that Coach Alexander is going to stress that here at halftime. He wants them to come out with a lot of energy in the second half of this game.
Well, Blair Glover right now standing by with Coach Jackson. Blair.
Them to 1 shot, get up and down the court so we can get some easy baskets. They doubling down on Hogan right now, so Jenkins is able to break free and make some shots. He got out in transition, made a couple baskets in contact. Just hopefully we can keep that going in the second half.
Defensively, Northern Kentucky seems to be a little bit aggressive out there. What are you going to do and talk to the players about coming into the half to slow them down?
Well, just make harder cuts and better reads, and you catch the ball, be in a triple threat and read the situation and make the correct pass and don't over dribble and stay within the concept of our offense.
Thanks, Coach. No problem. Back to you guys.
All right, Blair, thank you. There's a lot to be happy about. I know coaches are always looking for what we can improve on, but there's a lot to like if you're the Titans about this first half.
No question. A lot of positives to take in. He's got to like the defensive effort that they put forth. Also, the patience that they have shown, on the offensive end of the floor, moving the ball around, getting people involved. of course, you want to address the three-point threat.
Right.
McFarley is able to knock down a couple of three-pointers there in the first half. You'd like to get Corey Allen going, and if that can happen, they can put the mix of the inside play along with the three-point shooting in the second half. It'd be a great night for the Titans.
Corey Allen with just 1 point in the first half after 33 in his last time out, a career best for him. We'll see what adjustment they can make at halftime to get him going. But a good first half. Up 5, down 7, and the Titans lead by 5 at halftime. Stay with us. Halftime festivities coming up next. Titans with a 5-point lead as we begin the second half. Murray handed off to Holland. He hit some big shots early in this game. McDonald's been pretty quiet. He pulls his way into the lane, and which way will the call go? Offensive foul.
Second time, tonight that Chris Jenkins has been able to step into the lane and get that. See that little up fake, and I don't know why they go for that fake right there with McDonald, but perfect position that time for Chris Jenkins to sacrifice his body to, a huge body with McDonald coming at you, but he stepped in and took the charge, and good defensive play by Chris Jenkins that time.
McDonald, their leading scorer, really quiet in the first half on 2 of 4 shooting, just 5 points, and tough defense, the full court pressure applied by the Norse, and the Titans not wanting to risk the turnover, called timeout.
Great timeout by Bacardi that time. He wants to make sure that they don't have any problems with this pressure right now. We talk about 40 minutes of basketball, and we've seen the Titans put together solid halves. It's important that they come out and be positive right now.
Titans lead by 5, just the beginning of the second half. We'll be right back. Early timeout to start the second half. Chris Jenkins knew he was in trouble, didn't want to turn the ball over, so the timeout.
Make sure they go over that press breaker to make sure they can get this ball in bounds. And Northern Kentucky's trying to do something to stir things up here with full court pressure.
Titans started the game with a 5-0 lead, fell behind by 7, 25-18. Took the 5-point lead into halftime. Jaleel Hogan had a big first half, as did Chris Jenkins. Grant looking for Hogan. 5 blocks and just the 1 foul in the first half. Ball is loose on the floor, and the Norse have it.
Saw Murray drop back with a double team that time on Hogan. Did a good job of deflecting the ball away from him.
Good defense that time by the Titans as they took away the backdoor cut. Allen on Garrett, and now the Norse move it around the perimeter. McDonald drives pass after the fake. Late help and a foul, and McDonald will go to the line. Titans have done a really nice job, though, on Drew McDonald. He's just a sophomore out of Cold Spring, Kentucky. Averaging 16 points a game coming in.
Nothing really fancy about the things that he do. He's a good mid-range shooter or up into a three-point shooter. He's a solid post-up player. He takes his time. He's patient, and he works, and he puts the numbers up every night. He's pretty consistent.
Got a lot of guys who get to the line with great frequency. Carson Williams, Levon Holland, and Drew McDonald, who's a 75% free throw shooter.
You look at guys like Williams and McDonald, and they're both from about 6'5" and 6'6". They're perfect for mid-major basketball.
Another offensive board. Murray, who loves to shoot the 3, in and out.
Boy, they got lucky on that one.
Oh, he had an open look. He doesn't miss those. McFarley at the other end will kick to the corner, but the ball, nope. Thought it might have been knocked away. Instead, he just missed an open Corey Allen. What do the Titans need to do to get to, as we take a look at this pass from McFarley as he drove?
Well, you want to get time getting to the basket to get that three-point game going. If you can get stops and get out in transition, sometimes you can get, in half-court basketball, it's tough. They're able to play it, but transition buckets is where you start getting your three-point shooters going.
And that's what the Titans have excelled, especially the last 2 games, and they've scored 85 and 86, scoring a lot of points on fast breaks. Long into the game, he did not see much playing time in the first half, only the final few seconds of that first half. He's in for Jenkins early here in the second. Another offensive board for Northern Kentucky.
You want to be careful. You don't want to let him start compiling those offensive boards against you.
And driving Garrett, called for the foul. Strong defense again by the Titans.
Well, you can see where it's paying off, and Coach Alexander is working every day to make sure that these guys keep working on their straight man-to-man defense. And we can see areas right here. You see McFarley getting in front of him, and the loose arm that time reached out and slapped him, and the referees were right on top of that.
Long getting a lot of playing time the last 2 games. Not soft enough a touch as he drove into the lane, and back the other way come the Norse. Howland off glass, no. Grant will pick it up. 3-on-2 break. Hogan drives off glass.
Oh.
No, he cannot get it to go.
Man, a couple easy opportunities missed there by the Titans.
Back and forth we go, and alley-oop was no good. Williams tried to make something out of nothing. Missed badly, but again, a rebound, and he put in his own miss. 2-point lead for the Titans, who led by 5 at halftime.
Well, Northern Kentucky is attempting to push the pace of this basketball game. They feel if they can get out and get some easy opportunities. They're tired of the half-court stuff.
Corey Allen had maybe 1 open look the entire first half from 3. He's going to step back here, soft touch, and he gets it to go.
Sometimes that's all you need to get you going, and he was able to create a shot for himself that time.
It's been a 5-game stretch where Corey Allen has hit 17 of 29 3-pointers. As hot a stretch as you will see from beyond the arc.
And Northern Kentucky got the scouting report because they're not allowing him to hit that tonight.
Foul in the lane as Howland drives. You made a good point in the first half. They're not really trying to force it. And the key in your eyes now here in the second half, those 3-point shots, the open looks have got to come probably in transition.
Well, sometimes no shots are better than bad shots.
Right.
And right now he's kind of let the game come to him and let it happen. And, we still got a lot of time left in this game. If that shot doesn't come to the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game, so be it.
The confidence never wavers for Corey Allen, does it?
He's a shooter. He knows he's capable.
Levon Howland the second, junior from Louisville, Kentucky, knocks down the first. Chris Jenkins in for Cole Long. Cole Long has really earned his playing time. He's part of the future along with Malik Eichler and Corey Allen, 3 key freshmen.
Well, Coach Alexander is getting all these guys some playing time and getting them some experience because he knows that's going to help them.
That's right.
Especially now at this time of the year.
Second free throw falls. Back to a 2-point game. Allen across midcourt. Garrett's on him. Grant guarded by Murray. Allen looking for something inside, nothing there, so he's going to get it to Hogan, working on McDonald. He's going to power his way into the lane, a little too strong off glass, rebounded by Williams. Norris pushing it. Howland cut off as he tried to drive the lane. Now he finds the seam, kicks it out. Near corner McDonald, no, and rebounded by the Titans. They've got the numbers the other way. Corey Allen driving, will kick to the corner. McFarley thought about the shot, drives instead and lays it in. Great decision by Josh McFarley.
No question about it. Not settling to take that jump shot. He saw the open lane and was able to get in there and get the easy layup. Smart decision.
Back to a 4-point lead for Detroit Mercy. McDonald to the corner. That shot too strong, and Williams to the offensive board. That's just bad luck on a bad miss by Howland.
Well, Jenkins did a good job of holding this position with the reaching on Allen, and if Allen would have left that alone, it possibly could have been another charging call on it.
Just under 16 minutes to go. Titans are holding on to a 4-point lead in the Horizon League opener over Northern Kentucky. Glad to have you along for the Horizon League opener from the Dick Vitale court here at Detroit Mercy on the campus of University of Detroit Mercy in Detroit.
We got a big night coming up February the 10th. We're hoping that we get Vitale back. The 70-17 will be coming in back into town, and sweet Terry Durod's number is going to be retired, hanging from the Raptors.
That's going to be a fun night.
And, you get a chance to see some of the old John Long, Terry Tylers, and Will McCormick's, and yours truly, Earl Cureton will be there. It's going to be a big night, and a lot of the coaches, and we're hoping that we can get everybody out. Just about all of that team has committed. Ron Bostic and Dennis Boyd, and
is that right?
All of those guys are committed to come back. That's going to be a huge night here if we can get everybody. And if we can bring the guy that this court is named after in here. It could be a huge night.
Had to bring the house down.
Yes, Oakland University will be here. Big
Boy,
game.
turnover as the Norse applied the full court pressure. Howland drives, scores, and ties it. This full court pressure causing some problems, and almost a steal again by Murray, who stole the last inbounds, but Grant has it across midcourt.
Northern Kentucky has really picked the tempo up defensively here, and they're trying to get energy with this full court pressure to try to speed this game up, get something going in their favor.
Williams with it for the Titans. Finds a seam, drives, whoa, rejected, but picked up by Jenkins, and his shot rolls around the rim. Hogan will drive, puts the shoulder down, and puts it in.
There's not much you can do when Lil Hogan hits you with that body down there, boy. That 265, 70 pounds banging against you, and he was able to power that one up and in the basket after getting the guy off balance.
You try to stop him. McDonald has it. Hogan on him, out to Murray. Holland guarded by Grant, getting his first start, the defensive specialist. Has helped lead the Titans defense that right now is playing easily its best defense of the year. Murray from the corner, don't give him the open look. He missed it. Almost a shot clock violation, but another offensive board and another three-pointer that will this time fall.
I guess that was still in play. That went to the top of the backboard.
I thought it hit the top.
Yeah, I thought maybe that should have been out of play, but there was no call made, so it's good.
1 point lead for Northern Kentucky. McFally at the other end, off the mark. Norse are really pushing it. Williams drives the other end, and he got by Jenkins, who reached in for the foul.
Well, here's where the Titans have to hold fast right now. Northern Kentucky's making their run right now, which teams are going to do. The energy's there with them, and the Titans have to hold up and continue to play solid defense and not let them take advantage of them in this situation.
McDonald out, Brennan Gillis in for the Norse. Down by 5 at the half, now with a 1 point lead. Murray in the near corner. Don't give him two opportunities on the same possession. He's bound to hit one, even if that second one was a little ugly. Well, he just doesn't miss very often from beyond the arc.
You don't want to play.
There he is again.
Right on cue right there. And he's able to knock it down. And that's why you don't want to give his team second chances. If you can play 24 seconds, you don't want to give them a second opportunity.
Kind of what you were talking about with Allen, though. I mean, he's getting his open looks now. And the Titans have to find a way to get Allen some open looks because he has been quiet in this game tonight. Not on the floor at the moment. Grant's going to take the three and hit it. Matthew Grant, the senior out of L.A.
Big bucket that time by Grant.
Huge. 1 point lead for Northern Kentucky. Terrific opener to the Horizon League schedule. Gillis down low, guarded by Jaleel Hogan. Murray again off a screen. Do not let him get the open look. He's hot. He's hit 3 in a row.
That time coming off of a screen, and you got to get on him. You got to have a hand in his face. There's no way you give him that long to study the basket.
Nice lay-in. Grant has hit 2 big buckets for the Titans.
Back-to-back baskets by Grant, right when the Titans need him right now.
There's no secret what Murray is going to do. He's got the ball right now. Long-range gun, and this time it's Gillis. This is what the Norse like to do. They like to shoot the three, and they built a 5-point lead on the strength of their three-point shooting. And the Titans right now have to weather this hot shooting by the Norse.
It all started with the full court pressure by Northern Kentucky coming down, adding pressure. And they really have stepped their game up on the defensive end of the floor right now. And that's the reason why the second shots and the defensive effort.
Grant's hit 2 big buckets. Every possession now becoming big with the way the Northern Kentucky is shooting the ball. Grant will force a shot blocked. Hogan steals, lays it in. Jaleel Hogan. What a force he's been at both ends tonight.
He's doing a good job on the offensive glass that time. Not a lot of rebounds in the first half, but he's starting to come alive here.
Boy, this time Holland drives up and over Jaleel Hogan. Back and forth we go. Williams, Hogan inside, too strong. Good defense that time by Jordan Garnett. Here comes Williams. Jenkins will try to slow him down. Murray, corner, got it. Oh man, Cole Murray is sizzling for Northern Kentucky.
Well, they were able to keep him quiet the whole first half of the game, but you know he's a key to their offense right now. They'll find a way to get him open.
Cole Murray hit 1 3-pointer in the first half, and he's just hit 4 in a row. 11 and a half to go, and the Norsemen of Northern Kentucky with their biggest lead of the night. At the upcoming schedule for Detroit Mercy, Wright State will be on the air at 3:30 on Saturday. There will be a women's game ahead of time, so a half hour after that game ends. Titans and Wright State, and then 3 games on the road, making these 2 home games, Earl, to start the Horizon League schedule all the more important.
You want to take advantage of your home court. There's no question about that. You know, the fact right now that, 14 offensive rebounds by Northern Kentucky right now, and 16 second chance points is what's really hurting the Titans right now.
Full court pressure has led to turnovers and some easy buckets for Northern Kentucky. Grant's 3-pointer, no. Jaleel Hogan with the offensive board, no. Put back, yes.
Good job by Jaleel sticking with that. Rebound and put back. 2 boards off of that play.
You see Cole Murray near side of the screen, near the bottom, cutting toward the lane right now. Cole Murray has taken 115 shots this year. 108 have been from beyond the arc like this one, and another 3.
And another one.
Incredible. He's hit 5 in a row. And the Titans can't do anything to slow him down, Earl.
And I remember correctly, he came in here last year, and I think he went 5 for 7 last year from the 3-point line. And I'm not 100% accurate on that shot, but if I remember correctly, he did just that.
He started 1 for 6 from 3 tonight, and he's hit 5 in a row. And a 5-point lead for the Titans is now a 9-point deficit. Hogan turns it over. Pressure defense by Northern Kentucky. Gillis with an open look, and he just missed as it went in and out on the floor. Norse take it away. Williams down low, powers it up, no. Foul as Jenkins went up for the ball, and that will be on Williams.
Titans got to do a better job of not letting them have that second chance. You know, those offensive rebounds right now. It was the 15th offensive rebound by Northern Kentucky. They actually scored 16 points, on second chances. So, you got to cut that down.
Midway point of the second half. And right now it's all Northern Kentucky here in the second half. They've outscored the Titans 29-15.
You can say all Murray.
Yeah, all Murray is right. Jenkins looking for some help. Williams, man in his face, too strong. Gillis with a rebound. Faulkner, the freshman. Murray, Jenkins on him. Williams backing down low on Grant. Double team, lots of contact, no foul, and somehow Williams got it to go. 11-point lead, the biggest of the night for Northern Kentucky. Allen drives in, and he's going to draw the foul.
Well, you got to give Northern Kentucky a lot of credit. They're keeping the ball away from Josh McFarley and Corey Allen. The shots are coming from Matthew Grant, and right now in the second half of this game, and those are not the guys you really want to be taking those 3-point shots for them.
How do you create some more opportunities for those two, Earl? I mean, Northern Kentucky's found a way.
Well, they're doing a good job right now of covering those guys and double teaming and making sure they get a ball up. And the help is coming from Matthew Grant. And it's coming from Gerard Williams.
Grant trying to work off a screen from Hogan, drives baseline instead, whistling a foul. 9 minutes to go, and the Titans badly in need of a bucket. Down 11. Williams will inbound the ball underneath the basket. Allen, Hogan, Jenkins, and Grant on the floor with Williams right now. And again, trouble getting the ball in. Northern Kentucky wanted the over and back. No call. Jenkins will drive into the lane, try to scoop it. No. Ball knocked away from Jaleel Hogan. Faulkner, the freshman, charging down the floor. Cole Murray can't be stopped.
And I tell you what, you're talking about heating up in a hurry. I mean, going 1 for 6, and he can't miss now.
6 for 6 over the last 5 minutes or so for Cole Murray.
Jordan, get in there, Jordan!
Driving the lane, Williams. Near corner, Jenkins, and he'll knock it down. A badly needed 3 for the Titans, who trail by 11 now. Just put somebody in Cole Murray's back pocket. It's incredible the open looks he's getting. Williams got Jenkins off his feet, and he'll go to the line.
And Williams doing a good job of driving the ball to the basket and using his body that time, and was able to draw the foul.
McDonald in for Gillis, and Holland in for Murray. That's as hot as you will see. It's kind of like Corey Allen was the last game against Fort Wayne.
Well, the thing is, we got guys that, we've seen Josh, do this in games prior to this one where he can catch you on fire at any time. We got a couple of guys that can knock him down. Just haven't had those opportunities here tonight.
Holland a little bit strong on the short jumper. McFarley tried to get it to Hogan. Ball tipped away. Hogan got it anyway and put it in. That's just strong work from Jaleel Hogan in the lane.
If they're going to get back in this game, it's got to be here on the defensive end of the court.
The defense was terrific, especially the last 10 minutes of the first half. Hogan was blocking everything in sight. Northern Kentucky couldn't hit a shot thanks to the tough defense. And just the opposite the last 10 minutes. Rejected by Jaleel Hogan. His 6th block of the night.
You should have the look on Jaleel Hogan like, are you kidding me? How dare you to put that up in my face?
9-point lead for Northern Kentucky with 7.5 to go here at Callahan Hall. Has done over the last 10 minutes or so. That was the first of 6 consecutive.
Well, nobody's getting there in time. He's able to get wide. We talked about that. It's a good screen right there that time by McDonald to get him open, but he's wide open. There's nobody near him. The scouting report says this guy's a shooter. If he's a shooter, somebody's got to be in his face. It's not uncontested shots. He's able to take those shots, and he's able to knock those down. You got to get up on him and challenge every shot that he takes.
Led by Murray, Northern Kentucky's hit 10 of their last 15 shots, make it 11 of their last 16. As Howland gets it to go. And a turnover by the Titans. Interesting right now that Corey Allen is not on the floor for the Titans.
Well, they haven't been able to get him in a position where he can knock down shots. And, the only thing you can say is you give Northern Kentucky credit because you're making sure that every time he does take a shot, it's contested.
That's Black on Holland. Whistle and foul on Northern Kentucky as McFarley's quick hands again knocked it away and forced Faulkner into the foul. Black, Long, Williams, McFarley, and Hogan on the floor right now for Detroit. Murray, Williams, McDonald, Faulkner, and Holland on the floor for the Norse. Williams near midcourt. McFarley guarded by Holland. Off the screen, drives, no. Rebound, fought for on the ground, and the Norse have it. They've got the numbers the other way. thought about handing it off to Murray, instead pull it out, and now McDonald with a three. Man, they can't miss.
That's where they can really hurt you at. McDonald can knock that shot down, and our defense is slowly dissolving right here. As you saw, McDonald get a wide open three at the top of the key.
The Norse love to shoot the three, and they have just been sizzling from beyond the arc here in the second half. After a 5 for 17 start. They've hit 8 of their last 10, and the lead is 14. And the pace, and you said it, Earl, it really started with that full court pressure. The pace just seems to have worn the Titans down.
Defensive effort definitely picked up by Kentucky.
Another from beyond the arc. McDonald is his second in a row.
No hand in his face. He's able to square up and take that shot wide open. And he's capable of knocking it down.
Is the ball movement that good, Earl? Creating all these, really, as you said, open looks. A block that time by the Norse.
Right here, you see the solid pass on the inside right there. But anytime that ball touches the backboard, you have to leave it alone. And they got him with the foul, probably right across his arm with the body. Everything looked clean up top, bumped him with his body.
Has Northern Kentucky done that good a job of ball movement, Earl, or is it what have they done differently, in other words, in the second half
it's
to
what
create
the Titans
these opportunities?
done differently. They haven't guarded anybody in the second half of the court. If you look at the shots that they're taking, they're wide open looks. Murray, we just showed a highlight package of Murray, and
4 of the 5.
4 of those shots that he took, nobody was there. One of them was a solid screen. I'll give you that. He was able to get that open. But the one from the corner, he was wide open. The one at the top, he was wide open. This guy's a knockdown, dead-eye shooter. You have to have a hand. We just saw McDonald come down at the top of the key, wide open jump shot. Nobody contested the shot. Corner, nobody contested the shot. So it's not the fact that they're moving the ball right now. It's just a slack of defense and not being aware of where players are on the court and what they can do.
And you think of the three-point attempts by McFauley and Allen, especially for the Titans. Even the one that Grant made, somebody's in their face every time.
And they're shading him. Hollins shading McFauley, giving him the opportunity to drive the lane. He'd rather make a driver out of him than a three-point shooter.
Williams on Williams, and we've got a foul. No, double dribble on the Northern Kentucky Williams. Carson Williams called for the double dribble. Titans will take it out. Badly in need of somebody getting hot from beyond the arc. That's about the only way you would think they could get back into this game. But Northern Kentucky's just not going to allow it.
Well, you see where they're shading the ball to one side of the floor right now. They're forcing them to go one way. They're not going to let him go. They're forcing him to his left hand right there and did a good job.
And created the turnover at the other end. Whoa, Jordan Garnett went flying in the air. The foul means he'll go to the line.
There's the steal right there, and he's off to the races right here. Foley goes up to challenge that shot. And he goes up hard and physical, the way you're supposed to take the ball to the basket. He's able to draw the foul.
But a great example of what you were talking about. He's just go ahead, drive the ball. That's what we want you to do.
Forcing him to his left.
Yep.
Forcing him away from his right hand to his left hand on that side of the court right there. And when he tried to make a move to get back, they were able to get the steal. So you got to give them credit for the defensive schemes that they got going. They're working for Northern Kentucky right now.
This is the Northern Kentucky team. These two teams picked 6th and 7th in the preseason poll in the Horizon League. Kind of both in the bottom tier, if you will, going into the season. But you could see, Northern Kentucky, you could see where this team could cause a lot of teams some matchup issues, Earl. Well, it's a very young team. A lot of people didn't know what exactly we would see from the Norse this year, but it's been a pretty impressive second half.
Good job of mixing some solid freshman players with some of their veteran players right now. It's a good mix, and you can see that their juniors and senior players are bringing the freshmen along, and it doesn't hurt when you can get Mr. Basketball out of Kentucky.
Yeah. And the guy who finished runner-up also to join your team, that's Faulkner.
And that's a guy that hasn't showed you a whole lot, but that's a guy that that's going to be a present for them going down the line.
So that's McDonald at the line. Drew McDonald, the leading scorer for Northern Kentucky, averaging 16 points a game coming in. Misses this shot and another offensive board. Man, I'll tell you, it's a mentality, isn't it? Northern Kentucky, you knew it coming in, and it was a bit of a concern for John Brannon just how good it would be in league play, and they've just been pounding the boards all night.
Just outworking you. You got guys going in there giving them second shots, and this has been the MO most of the season. They will get after you on the offensive glass. They'll give themselves second opportunities, and when you got guys like Murray and a guy like McDonald, you can't afford to give them 2 shots, at the basket.
16-point lead for Northern Kentucky. This game was basically, for the first 25 minutes or so, a game that was within 5 points either way. Titans had the 5-point lead at halftime, and then it became the Cole Murray show. And remember, it was that possession where he missed his first 3. An offensive board led to a second opportunity for Murray on the same possession, got the bounce, and that one shot seemed to ignite him because then he hit 5 more. And didn't hit anything but net on the next 5.
And defensive concentration. We had it the first half of the game. And
I thought it was the best first half defensively we'd seen this year.
But you got to withstand. You have 40 minutes of solid, defense, and that's where the Titans have been having problems at this year. You can see them put together a solid 20 minutes, but they haven't been able to put together that solid 40 minutes of basketball. And you saw the breakdown here early in the second half of this game with the pressure from Northern Kentucky.
11 for 25.
Grant brings it across midcourt, picked up by Howland. You do have to give a lot of credit to the Northern Kentucky perimeter defense. Titans just have not been able to get their 3-point game going. Just so far for the night, 5 for 15. They'd hit 27 3-pointers the last 2 games. And that's what we've seen a lot of in the second half, where the opportunity is not available beyond the arc. Drive to the hole, and tough interior defense as well for the Norse. Howland on the handoff near midcourt. Williams on him. McDonald, after setting the screen, gets the ball back, misses the shot. Boy, that's McDonald going after his own miss. Well, they almost saved it.
They go after those 50-50 balls, I think.
They really do.
It's a matter of who wants it the most right now. And obviously, Northern Kentucky is a team that really wants the 50-50 balls.
Hot shooting in the second half, and Northern Kentucky has opened up a 16-point lead. It's into the second half. The Titans at a 43-39 lead.
Well, it's a problem when the book guy's reading. He's not interested anymore. It's 3:41 left, and he's bored to death right now.
This is not a replay from a past game, by the way.
He's got his mind made up. He went back to the next chapter.
You understand he's been here at every game for how long? At least the last 5 years. And he always puts the book away. He doesn't come here to read. He just reads during the break. Gets a couple pages in. But again, 4 minutes into the second half, the Titans had a 4-point lead. At that point, Northern Kentucky had hit 13 of 37 shots. Since then, Northern Kentucky has outscored the Titans 38-18 by hitting 13 of 19 shots, including 9 3-pointers. And a lot of that too, Earl, is due to their work on the offensive glass too.
No question about it. That's where it's the bread and butter right there. Second shot opportunities, and you get 17 offensive rebounds, you're going to do some damage.
Northern Kentucky has out-rebounded the Titans 40-25. And that's been a big part of the second half surge.
18 second chance points.
Howland at the line. You talked about the ability to sustain what we saw in the first half, and again, we've talked about it. We'll talk about it throughout the year. It is a process for Bakari Alexander and his staff to get that mentality of, okay, in recent years you want to outscore teams, we want to play more defense. Players know that. They bought into it, but it's just being able to actually execute it.
Well,
possession after possession.
Basketball is a game of adjustments, and as you see at the half, Titans go in up 4 points. Murray, 1 for 6. They made the adjustments the second half. They picked up the intensity, full court pressure, able to get some more easy opportunities in transition, buckled down to start going after the loose balls and second shots, and they took advantage of it.
Corey Allen, this will be a learning experience for him tonight, Earl. Just 3 points on 1 of 7 shooting after scoring 33 his last time out.
Well, they did a good job on Corey the entire basketball game. We did that to Murray the first half, but then the second half he was able to get loose.
Jenkins takes the shot, no, but we've seen a lot of that in the second half. Just not a lot of offensive flow right now, and guys trying to do a lot on their own just to get a ball to fall.
You see the frustration kick in right now. It was patience in the first half, moving the ball around, and obviously Northern Kentucky's took them out of that flow.
18-point lead for Northern Kentucky in the Horizon League opener. Titans will face Wright State. Northern Kentucky stays here in Michigan at the same hotel, and they will play Oakland on Saturday. Oakland and Valparaiso, the two favorites. Valpo, the clear favorite, consensus favorite going into the season for the Horizon League top spot, and Oakland a strong second behind Valpo. But in the poll, Valpo got most of the votes for first place. Northern Kentucky will take timeout, leading by 16 with just under 2 minutes to go. And John Brennan will unload some guys off his bench, get some guys who don't get a lot of playing time a chance to play a little bit with a big lead and under 2 minutes to go. So Bakari Alexander will have one day to get ready for Wright State. Wright State, a strong traditional power in the Horizon League.
Well, such a promising, first half of basketball, and you talk to your young and upcoming team, and you want them to know how important it is to, withstand what you're doing. And Kentucky made the adjustments. The Titans didn't make the adjustments, and here we are right here, with 1 minute and 49 seconds left, and a huge lead for Northern Kentucky.
But you're seeing things that kind of gets back to the fundamentals, doesn't it, Earl, in terms of fighting through screens or when to know when you're going to try to overplay a guy, leading to these open shots.
Sticking to your game plan, knowing where guys are at on the floor, especially the shooters, and that's exactly what got loose. It's a different thing when somebody that's not doing it on a night-to-night basis beats you, but when guys that's doing it on a regular basis, you got to know where they are.
There's still a lot of teaching going on with this Detroit Mercy Titans staff. Jaleel Hogan still playing hard. Another block. What a night he's had. That's 7 blocks for Jaleel Hogan. At the other end, Allen can't get it to fall. 1 for 8 from the floor for Corey Allen tonight. The freshman's had a rough night, but strong defense for him at the other end of the floor. This time a block by Long, but he'll get called for the foul as Dentez Walton checks into the game. Another freshman for Northern Kentucky.
Been a frustrating night for Corey Allen. He's a freshman, and he's got to realize, you drop 33 points, then you got to come back stronger to follow it up, because I tell you what, they got a thing called film. Another team watched a lot of film on him, and they didn't allow him to come in here. Not only did he not make any shots tonight, he almost didn't get any shots tonight. So you got to give Northern Kentucky the credit on that.
So what does Corey Allen take out of this game tonight, Earl?
Well, he knows that he's got to become more consistent. I think he was patient. I like the fact that he didn't try to force anything, just a little frustration down the line. But he's got to find other ways to get himself involved and do some other things to find a way to score the basketball.
Chris Jenkins had a strong first half. Soft touch there as he drives and scores. 14-point game, 1 minute to go. Northern Kentucky with the lead. Good hands by Grant, but he couldn't force the turnover. Open look corner, no. And Corey Allen will head back the other way. 1-on-2, and he's going to lay it in.
And those are the shots that's been available for him all night long. Has been drives to the basket for layups, because they totally made sure that somebody was on him, and they paid close attention to him. Not just 20 minutes, but 40 minutes.
Faulkner, the freshman, on Allen, the freshman, and Northern Kentucky now will just run some clock. They have to take one shot here. 12-second differential shot clock. Another block for Hogan. That is his 8th of the night. And then a foul after the block. I've been impressed with Jaleel Hogan tonight. Foul trouble throughout the year. He'd fouled out of 7 games this season coming into play tonight, and foul trouble he has not been in foul trouble at all tonight, and he's played a very strong defensive game.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It's not too many nights where you see guys 6'5" and 6'6" that he has a chance to guard. And he gets in foul trouble. A lot of times these centers come in here at 6'9" and 6'10", and he's giving up 3 or 4 inches in height. But tonight he had guys the same size as him, and he was able to match up well with every guy that came on the floor.
Only 2 fouls for Hogan, a 22-point, 8-rebound, 8-block night for Jaleel Hogan, who played hard right to the final buzzer here tonight.
Showing you what he's capable of. He's able to stay on the floor.
That's right. It makes a huge difference for this team. Long-range gun goes, and that will make the final score a little more respectable, but it will be a victory for Northern Kentucky in the Horizon League opener. Terrific first half, and then what a display of 3-point shooting in the second half for the Norsemen as they come away with the 11-point win over the Titans.
Led by Murray. I mean, Murray came out and he was definitely the difference, in that second half of the basketball game, because he was able to knock down, those 6 3-point shots. And McDonald got in on the act a little bit, with a couple, but defensively, they forced the tempo. They forced the second shots. They did a good job of getting to loose balls and crashing the offensive boards, and that was the difference in the basketball game here tonight.
And Bakari Alexander can at least point to that first half early. Again, it's going to be steps all along the way. He can point to that first half. Again, some of the best defense we've seen all year from the Titans. He can point to that and say, this is what we can accomplish if we commit to this team concept.
Not only that, the fact that they were able to run a smooth offense also in the first half. A lot of patience, and even though they wasn't getting outside shots, they were able to get the ball into Jaleel, and he was able to score down there in solid defense. And they went in up 4 points there at the first half of that basketball game. But we know it's a 40-minute game, and they came out and all of the things that they talked about, at the beginning of the game, of knowing where Murray is and knowing where McDonald is. They did a poor job the second half of staying with those guys and matching up with them.
And we've kind of seen that, haven't we, throughout the year with the Titans. Kind of the first 20 to 25 minutes has been a different, really, story for them compared to the last 15 in many games this year.
Well, that's what Coach Alexander is struggling with, trying to get these guys to play a solid 40 minutes of basketball. You get it in spurts, and you see a lot of positive things, and that's what happened when you got young players and you got new concepts, and you're trying to build. But they do have something to build on. You look at that first half, and you talk about that, and you try to build on that for the next game coming up, and it's coming soon.
Titans fall to 2-11 with the loss here tonight. Northern Kentucky now 10-4. That's one more win than they had all of last year. So the Titans now with 1 day to get ready for Wright State, a team that has been historically very strong in the Horizon League. That'll be a Saturday afternoon game, and we'll be on the air right around 3:30 after the women's game here at Callahan Hall. The Horizon League opener, Titans lose by 11. For my partner Earl Curtin, for all of us here at Callahan Hall, wishing you a very good night. Have a good night, everyone.